Good morning, nation. Are we 5 by 5? I'm trying to put together a live stream here. Can y'all let me know if you can see me and hear me, please? And we'll get rolling. Oscar Delta, what's going on? Aspen, Kathleen Hunter, Uncle Charlie, what's up? Loco One. Absolutely. If I can grab, well, I tried to grab it here. There we go. Always and forever. Thank y'all for the 5 by 5. So, welcome to Prepper Nation. I'm John. Thank you for shooting a thumbs up so other people can find us, right? And hitting subscribe. Everybody in the chat that is chatting, y'all are subscribed because you got to be subscribed to do it, and I appreciate it. Also, quickly, thank you, Loretta Haley, Lawrence Durbin, and Stephen Seals. I appreciate it very much. And of course, the moderators. I see Bama Jen in here. Kelly and Rambo, I think, are going to be in and out as well. Shorty, good morning. So, quickly and not to bore you, I'm feeling pretty good, y'all. I'm feeling pretty good. So, I started, I don't know, it's been about 6 months ago. I started backing off the gluten and stuff. Not really for health reasons. I just was trying to drop the dad bod. Everybody's got a little bit extra, right? And I'm looking at myself in the mirror one day, not an AI imposter days, actually. The real deal Holyfield over here. It'd be easier if I knew how to do the AI though. And so I wasn't completely gluten free, but I'd been backing off of it. So Miss Nation, one of her coworkers got on the gluten free diet. She started dropping weight. Long story short, Miss Nation comes home and says, "Hey, can we try this together?" I'm like, I'm almost there, baby. Like the country song. And so we've been gluten free for about a week. We've been walking in the afternoons when it's not raining. I've had 3 cups of coffee and I'm ready to go here, son. I am feeling the best I've felt in a long time. My sleeping schedule's good, but either way, it is SHTF here in the United States of America. That is this morning's unfortunate topic. Either way we go from here on out, it's total SHTF. Can I get an amen? Do y'all agree with that? Do you disagree with that? I don't know. Let me know. Paradise Acres, yes. People are said, John, what's wrong with you? You've lost a little bit of weight? Honestly, I needed to. I was probably 50 pounds overweight again. I'm going to look good in some Speedos this summer, son, minus the chalk white legs. Just saying. Amen. Okay. Okay. I don't want to miss this one. Florida Man, thank you. Beware of Florida Man. Gifted 5 Prepper Nation memberships. That is awesome. Quickly, for anybody that is a member that doesn't know, we do an exclusive live stream every Friday. The membership tab here on YouTube, you will have an exclusive link to that Friday around lunchtime. And also, we're going to be doing afternoon videos. Done them for the past couple of days. The short, the sweet, and hopefully they're sweet, right? And folks are going to have you're going to have early access to those if you're a member here or if you're over on Patreon. So I appreciate that, Florida Man. All right, let's get into the SHTF. We've got 194 and some odd hours, days until the November election. Assuming we have a November election, I mean, a lot can happen between right now as I'm sitting here drinking this sweet coffee. Newman's Own this morning. I got some bougie coffee, as my daughter would call it, bougie. Bougie or bougie, something like that. I got the good coffee this morning. A lot can happen between now and then, right? If we even have an election. I don't know. Yeah, I'm throwing that out there. I'm not really wearing them. I got me a pair of the Oakley board shorts. If y'all ever see me at the beach, I'll be in that, and you will see me from a mile away because I'm white as that ring light right there. Hey, it is what it is. Y'all think we'll have an election before we move on with this conversation? Shady, what's going on? Ark Nanny, how are you doing? I am sorry that you were stuck with that picture. Um, don't think an election will. It's definitely, even if we have one, that's this morning's conversation. You are 1,000% right on there. Phoenix Warriors counting down the days till the election. Coffee First and Speak says nope, not going to have one. Daniel says no as well. We'll see. So I was kicking the idea around in my head. G Puckett. I have not. I don't think so. I don't think so. Death wishes is about as deep as I get into it, and that's only on special occasions because that stuff hits like whiskey, to be honest with you. So, if we have an election, right, or selection, whatever, we'll get into that a little bit later. Too, a comment came in yesterday that was kind of shady. No offense, Jim. Um, if we have an election, it ends one of two ways. Does it not? Joe Biden wins or Donald Trump wins. I don't think Kennedy has a chance. Now, again, anything can happen. One of the candidates, they're up there in age. They could, be disqualified somehow, but I think it's going to be Trump and Biden in November if we have an election. It's going to end one of two ways. So, what I did is I made a list for each one of those scenarios, whatever it is, right? Are you a good news first person or a bad news first person? Me personally, um, yeah, he's a vote drawer, but he may win or lose it for somebody, you know what I'm saying? But I personally don't see him um, getting enough votes to win himself unless something major happens. I'm a bad news first kind of guy. You know what I mean? Um, just give me the bad news first. You know what I mean? There was a car crash, but everybody survived. Well, okay, that's good news on the back end, right? Or the radio wasn't harmed, something like that. So we're going to go with the bad news first scenario. And I'm sorry, if you're a Democrat and you're riding with Biden, for you, this may be the good news scenario, but not for me. And I apologize for none of it, son. If Joe Biden is reelected, same here, Salty Dog. What I'm going to try and do now, of course, it's opinion, right? I can't see into the future. I ain't got a DeLorean outside or anything like that, son. Um, Reb Doomer, how are you doing? I think that's a newish face. Appreciate you being here. So I'm going to try and give you 5 things that I'm going to guarantee are going to happen if we see a Joe Biden election. And then I'm going to explain to you how I'm going to be preparing moving forward the moment the news announced, Joe Biden's got 4 more years. You know what I'm saying? Again, bad news first, right? How would I prepare moving forward with that? DB Cooper, he has his own channel. Number one, be subscribed to Backwoods. And number two, he was just here last week. We do it once a week. We both work outside of YouTube. I wish we could do it every day, but it is what it is. He runs his own business and everything. So, no specific order. Add whatever you want to this list. Dispute whatever you want to. Again, I'm not the end all be all over here. Number one, we will hit under Joe Biden a reelection. We will hit a national average of $7 a gallon for gas. Now, I know some of you may live in areas where it's already close to $7 a gallon, but that's not a reality for most of us, right? Most of us, gas prices are up. I'm not anywhere near $7 a gallon, but I think under Joe Biden, we would hit $7 a gallon because he is obsessed with going green and saving the planet. Art Nanny, thank you very much and good morning again. Do you think what's happening on college campuses, beginning of CW and their excuse? Um, I've got it written down. We're going to talk about the college campuses. It's the summer of love 2.0. Does that translate to Civil War 2.0? I don't know, but I'll remember to cover that when we get there. Okay. Thank you very much. Great minds think alike. Kevin Grip, hooking some of y'all up. I appreciate that very much. Matter of fact, um, if y'all can give me a second here, because everybody's giving memberships, I'm going to go in and try and do the same thing. Okay. If I can remember how. You got to bear with me for a second. I'm not very good with technology here, but I'm gonna try. Um, yes. There we go. And it's totally random, folks. I'm not like showing favoritism or anything like that, but I appreciate it because everybody else is gifting memberships. That's freaking fantastic. So number two, I think, and this touches on the Dark Nanny, I think the legal process of secession begins somewhere. All right. Now, that's probably going to lead to the Civil War that you speak of. I don't know, which state is going to start that paperwork, likely Texas or Florida, but it could be another state. But I think the reality of 4 more years of Joe Biden and this administration is gonna be enough for some governors, maybe even Trump himself. Maybe they step up, they start filing the paperwork to get out of this arrangement. Um, just buy an EV. We'll be, J954, I appreciate it. We're gonna be talking about EVs as well. Matter of fact, coming up on one of these 2 lists. So, yeah, Red Doomer, you're absolutely welcome. I appreciate everybody being here. So number 3, you can expect under Joe Biden for 4 more years, at least, and this is a low ball number, at least 15 million more illegals to enter the United States of America. It's really hard to gauge how many because I don't think we're being told the truth about how many have gotten here since Joe Biden took office. The official number, which I dispute heavily, is 10 million. I think it's a lot higher than 10 million since Joe Biden took over. Um, I agree with that, Karen. Good morning. We can't survive 4 more years. No, we can't in a country that we are used to. The country will still be here, but it will look totally different. 4 more years of Joe Biden, and we're going to get to that part in a minute. Thank you very much for that comment. So I went with 15 million. Now that's to me that's kind of a low number. I think it could actually be more than that. But again, I don't want to piss off the newcomer crowd, right? I don't, I really don't care. I'm just throwing that out there. Number 4, complete economic crash. Everybody's been asking, John, when is the bottom going to fall out? When are we going to see the economy totally collapse like it did during the first Great Depression? You will see it during 4 more years of Joe Biden. I don't know if it'll be year 1, year 3, year 4. People cannot take the working middle class cannot continue to tread water for 4 more years of this clown show. They can't do it. And with less and less tax money coming in, the government is not going to be able to, they're into this universal basic income, this whole idea, but the money has to come from somewhere. It just has to, and there won't be enough taxpayers, I think, left, and it's going to just completely fall apart. Number 5, this is a big statement on my part. Y'all, let me know what you think. Alfred, thank you very much. Got rad power e-bike in case it gets worse. Okay, e-bike's fine. The e-cars, I'm not a fan of. The e-bikes do make sense as long as you're a fan of those. That's awesome. I don't know a ton about them, but it's a good way to get around in SHTF. As long as you can power them up, right? Number 5, Joe Biden will not finish a second term. He's just too old. He's just, I'm not age shaming him. It's not just his age. He's not coherent enough. He's not capable. He shouldn't be in there right now. He's probably not even going to debate Donald Trump in prime time because they're trying to hide the fact that he's so far gone. He's got so much stuff going on up here, and I think he's fighting real medical conditions up here. Okay, to the point where everybody around him ought to be ashamed. Some of the stuff is his fault, some of it's actually not his fault. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting an asterisk beside the FJB, right? Um, it's just he's not finishing 4 more years. Can you imagine this guy 3.5 years from now trying to walk around on a stage, trying to talk to the American people and give an address? There ain't enough drugs out there to help this man along for much longer. So there's very little. There's very little going on up there. Occasionally, he's able to talk about what he's going to do if he's reelected. And I'm like, Joe, you've been there for 150 years, son. We already know what you're going to do. It's time. Trump's up there in age too, but he's coherent. He understands what's going on. He's cognitive. You know what I mean? Um, I'm not sure. I think Biden is a little older. Trump could be older. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me, Stephanie. Good morning. But again, Trump, older or not, is much more coherent than Joe Biden is. Um, I mean, he just is. So if God forbid, please don't hold this statement against me. God forbid Joe Biden gets 4 more years. And I see this on TV, like Fox breaking, breaking. We've called the race. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris win 4 more years. Okay. As a prepper, this is what I'm thinking about. Okay. Number one, I'm gonna stack lots of silver. I've actually I haven't turned in much, but I did take a little bit of silver because the spot price is right at $30 when I took it, and I made some money because when I bought it, it was like $21, right? So I did take some, I got some money, and I reinvested in some more silver, stack lots of silver. This is what I'm thinking when I'm thinking economic crash. Make sure you got everything else. Make sure you're able to eat because you can't eat silver. People tell me this, right? Make sure you've got water filtration. Make sure you have meds, everything else that you need. You strapped up. You got ammo stacked to the rafters. Then, if you have leftover money, silver. Uh, this is what the dealer told me. By the end of the year, they're expecting it to go up to 50 spot value. Now, they didn't tell me this till after I sold off some at 30, so I was kind of pissed about that, but it is what it is. They got to make money, right? I'm going to prepare to avoid cities entirely. And this don't take much preparation on my part. I try and do this anyway, but I'm telling y'all out there, if you work in a city, maybe you're driving back and forth, you're commuting back and forth, you'll not want to do that if Joe Biden wins 4 more years because the country is not safe now, as we discussed earlier this week. And it's going to be even less safe moving forward with him. Three, I'm asking myself, how long can I reasonably, if I have to, stay at home, bunker in, defend the fort? Because it may come down to that with so many illegals and so many America haters in this country and an incoherent president who's weaponized the three-letter agencies. How long can I stay here, not have to go to the store? There you go. Dynamite says he's moving to the hills. He's taking a snowplow with him. How you doing, brother? Good morning. Um, how long can you hold the fort down? How long before you need a trip to Walmart or Costco, or Food Line or something like that? How long can you make it or Aldi, right? Ask that question. The moment he becomes president again, God forbid, reelected, and you should be doing this now, most of you, but I ain't going to tell you how to do it, right? Cash purchases for all prepping items. They're already watching this stuff like a hawk. They already want to know who's buying the new generators, who's buying the new boomsticks, who's buying gas masks. They want to know this stuff. So make it as hard for them as possible, especially if he's reelected. All right, because the three-letter agencies, they're not going to be investigating the America haters. They're going to be investigating the America lovers and people that are gearing up. Do y'all remember those messages back? It was around the pandemic, right? Um, do you know anybody that's too prepared? Facebook had this thing where they want you to snitch on people. You will see that on steroids. And you want to have closed lips about prepping with a second term from Joe Biden. And again, you want to make sure you're spending cash money. Prepare for illegals in your community. This is a very popular comment. What's going on, JW Survival? This is a very popular comment over here. Well, I ain't got nothing to worry about. I live in rural America. The illegals ain't coming here. Try that in a small town. They're going to. If Biden gets 4 more years, sorry, Jason Aldean fans, they're going to try it in a small town. And by try it, I mean they're going to be squatting on people's property. They're just going to be overrunning everything. It is what it is. And so you need to be prepared for that, right? If you have private property, make sure that it's posted, make sure that it's heavily posted, make sure you can defend your property, know your state and local laws when it comes to defending the property. Don't skirt outside of the laws, if you will. And some people will say, well, I can't do it. I live in New York City. That's on you at this point. If you're still in a big city, liberal city, that's on you. You assume the risk at this point, right? Um, and finally, what I've got is to wear a pod person mask or be completely gray man. Otherwise, you will be targeted. I promise. You hang a MAGA flag up after he's reelected, you're going to be targeted. If not by the government, by illegals, by America haters. Some people will say, man, you're wearing an NFL hat, perfect gray man hat. My son bought it for me. He's into the NFL. What can I tell you? I don't necessarily watch it, but hey, if I got to go gray, I can go gray. You know what I mean? I can walk around like a pod person with the best of them and just listen and collect intel. You know what I mean? Then come back to the fort. All right. That is the worst case scenario. I'm glad it's out of the way, actually. But it would be total SHTF. So, hunt outdoors, that's a great question. Why would you think that the election will not happen? Personally, I think there will be, but there's always a chance there won't be. Globalists, globalists, because Donald Trump, as I said yesterday, like him, hate him, whatever, I don't think he's compromised. I don't think he's on the globalist payroll. Some people do. I'm not convinced of that. I do think he has America first in mind. And he throws a big old monkey wrench into the plans of globalists. And in my personal opinion, the globalists are not above creating some sort of huge event that would postpone the election in order to not have Donald Trump throw that monkey wrench in there. But that's just my 2 cents. Um, J954, thank you. Biden 2024, 200% increase in ammo guaranteed. Yeah, people should be stacking it now. No matter what happens during an election, there's always a run on guns and ammo, right? Jim Shady, they will target you if you fly an American flag. That's a great point. Uh, I'm going to be touching on that this afternoon. Thank you for ruining that. Shady, I'm just picking, man. Kelly, because the Democrats are desperate and they will do anything to keep Trump out. They're grasping at straws now. All right, so if Donald Trump wins re-election in November, these are 5 guarantees, I think. Again, guaranteed predictions, right? Don't have the DeLorean outside. I wish I did. I'd probably sell it though. No specific order. Number one, and this is going to bring some tears to some Trumpers out there. Only criminal illegals will be deported. I get it. They're all criminals. They're inherently breaking the law when they get here. Donald Trump has promised on day one, I'm going to get these people, I'm going to start mass deportations, okay? The issue is, I think, he's going to be fought on that issue tooth and nail. Democrats, the legal system, everybody's going to be fighting him on that tooth and nail. I think it'll get to a point where if these people have a criminal record and they've entered the country, or once they've entered the country, you know, they've committed felonies or they've shoplifted a bunch of times, I think those people will be deported. I think he can make a case for that in a criminal court. I think the other stuff he's going to get beat on in court. I really do, because our sanctuary laws are a joke, and you know, asylum laws, I mean, they're a joke. And until that changes, I think they're going to defeat him in court. Sad but true. So most of the illegals are here to stay, um, unless that law changes. Now, I do think he'll be able to get out. Um, yeah, I'm totally aware of that. Donald brought you Operation Warp Speed. I'm not like over here beating the drum. I'm not a Donald Trump sympathizer. Look, man, you need to understand, if we have 2 choices, right? Realistically, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. All right. Are you seriously going to sit there and say, I'm voting for Biden because of this? Look at everything that Biden has brought us. You know what I'm saying? Are you running for president? If you are, drop a link. I'll vote for you. But until we get more than 2 choices, I've got to pick the better choice, right? Most of us do. Now, I mean, that's just how it works. Number 2, you aren't going to like to hear this, but it is what it is. It's another pandemic. I think if Trump gets in there, as someone was just saying earlier, Um, they're they're going to try and stop him. They're going to try and kneecap him however they can. All right. And the best way to do it, because he's going to boom the economy. The economy is going to be going this way, not this way. Say what you will about Trump, Operation Warp Speed, and all this stuff. I get it. But he's an economist. He knows how to boom the economy, right? How do you kill the economy? The same way you killed it the first time he was booming the economy. You introduce a pandemic. Now, I don't know what it's going to be. It could be redfish. Could be. How you doing, McBean? It could be. Could be something totally different, right? But they're going to introduce something because people are already conditioned and they know, hey, man, 75% of Americans are just going to comply. Can we just get back to the normal? This new normal sucks. What do we got to do? Long living family. I appreciate that. Love you too. What is that? A sandfish, sand dollar? I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Um, so yeah, expect another pandemic, in my opinion. Number 3, day one, right? Fox News alert, CNN News alert. Uh, Donald Trump predicted to become president for second term. Day one, probably 30 minutes after that, you're going to see massive protests in every major liberal city throughout the country. Probably in liberal cities, not even in this country. You may see them popping up in Canada. You may see them, in Great Britain popping up, and they're not going to stop, right? They're going to be gnarly. Art Nanny, thank you. SS working out plan how to handle if he's jailed. I saw that. I read that earlier. Uh, if he gets jailed, he can still run for president. He is guaranteed Secret Service security details. So it'd be interesting. I'd vote for the man in jail before I voted for Joe Biden again, to be honest with you. Number 4, speaking of, there's a potential that we see another incident like JFK or Nixon. All right. We know what happened with JFK. With Nixon, it was, in my opinion, a soft coup. Tucker Carlson laid out the terms perfectly. He brought the receipts. It was a soft coup against that president for not wanting to play ball. So if I'm advising Trump and he wins again, I'm like, here's what we're going to do. You're going down in the bunker under the White House and you're going to run the country from there. World leaders are going to come to see you here. You're not flying. You're not moving around the country. All that's over because you're not safe. And number 5, electric vehicles will fade out quicker than parachute pants. If this man becomes president, hope you ain't bought an electric vehicle. They're already tanking, but they will be an afterthought during a Trump presidency. All this lunacy about these $15,000 battery replacement, all that's history. If Trump gets into the White House again, he's going to set that back probably 50 years. So it is what it is. How do I approach a Trump presidency as a prepper? All right, I've already done this to a degree, but I'm thinking a run on the guns is coming. Right? Stack guns and ammo. And actually, I think the run on the guns will be Democrats. A lot of Democrats the last time, because we have a model to work with, right? The last time he became president, that's exactly what happened. A lot of soccer moms and dads who vote Democrat and they're highly liberal, the kind that are on the Old Navy commercials on TV, right? Wearing the high waters and stuff like this and drinking the soy lattes, they rushed out and they bought a bunch of guns. And they didn't even know what kind of gun was what, but they're buying them because they're scared Orange Man evil, right? And then they bought up all the ammo that was there for the guns. And then I remember going to the gun barn at Royal King, just going in for some 9 ammo, checking prices. And I walked in and I'm like, oh, there is no 9 ammo. What's going on here? There are empty shelves everywhere. I think there was some 12 gauge ammo, but they had a limit on that. So, I mean, it's coming, folks. It's coming. Um, Getting back to the protest, the extreme left, the America haters, the ones that like to burn the flags and wear, the blankets on their face and stuff like this. And the college kids that do it too, the soy latte drinkers and the flip-flops on the ground. They're not going to wait 4 more years. They're not just going to sit idly by and wait 4 years while Trump runs his presidency, it runs its course to the next election. They don't work that way. That's how conservatives work. We typically take the L like we did this time. We complain about it, and we just go back to work, and we'll get them in four more years. Um, that's not how the extreme left thinks. They want to set things ablaze. They want to start squatting out in the middle of the highways. They want to tear things up. They want to steal Nikes, apparently, and whatever else. Um, well, they've already started on college campuses, and we're getting there, but it would be 30 minutes to an hour after Trump is declared president. You're going to see them all over the place. Chad, how are you doing? Um, Liberal cities are off limits. I'm sorry, but under a Trump presidency, you're not safe there now, but you're just not safe in a liberal city under a Trump presidency because the mayors are going to be so pissed in these cities, they're going to double down. Even though they're doing damage to their own cities, it's about thumbing Trump in the eye. You're going to see sanctuary cities popping up everywhere just to try and get under his skin. It's not safe. Prepare for supply chain disruptions. I can't believe I'm saying that, but if Trump wins presidency, again, these people are going to act out. It is a well-funded organization. Yeah, this time around it is. Spreading way too fast, right? They're going to act out and they know what to do. They know we need to stop trucks. We need to stop fuel and food from moving. Be prepared for that. Already have enough of that stuff on hand, right? As a prepper. And expect a liberal Congress. It's like a razor's edge. Republicans have the Congress or the House at least right now. Okay, razor thin edge. If Trump is elected, what normally happens is the Congress will be the other way. So you're going to have a highly liberal. The Republicans are going to lose a lot of seats in November, I think, in the House and the Senate. So expect that and expect endless lawsuits and investigations after the fact. Like they're going to challenge him on everything and anything that he tries to do. That's what his future is looking like as president. I mean, again, I would tell him to get down in the bunker, don't come out. We'll bring your Taco Bell so you can tweet it. We'll bring you, McDonald's or whatever you want, sir. We'll bring it to you. And you better have 100 soldiers outside that door at all times. It's going to be a mess. I mean, it really is. Shorty, what's going on? That's right. Yankee Watchdog, how are you? So, Lynn Wilkerson, how are you doing? So, I mean, either way we go, it's SHTF full on, right? In November and moving forward. So, if we don't have an election, that's going to be total SHTF because we're not going to have an election for some big reason, right? There's going to be a big event, big war. There's going to be a reason for them to sales pitch that. If we do have an election, Joe Biden wins the election. To me, this is an SHTF. 4 more years of this clown and Rome is sacked, so to speak. And honestly, I know a lot of y'all like Trump. And again, I hope he wins in November if there's an election, but it's still going to lead to SHTF because the extreme left, they don't play by the same rules that we play by. Daryl says, yeah, it's only April. We're just getting started here. But about to get gnarly. As Backwoods would say, we're about to get gnarly. So I got to talk about the $95 billion bill. Probably the best comment that I had on the video with that bill yesterday. What could we spend that money on? Somebody commented and said, you could put it back in Social Security where you stole it from to begin with. That was probably the best comment on that. But there was a comment that was, Zaza, thank you. There was a comment yesterday that said Democrats are destroying America in reply to the $95 billion bill. I can't disagree with that blanket statement. Democrats are destroying America. They absolutely are. But unfortunately, you got sold down the river by Republicans on this one. Because again, the House has the majority. It's a slim majority, but the House Republicans have a majority. This thing should have never made it out of the House. The fact that it made it out of the house. Tie time. Thank y'all. I'm going with the only thing I can afford to eat right now, son. Spam. What's going on there? Um, has zero to do with that's the only tie I've got laying out, right? Just full transparency there. Um, yeah, Republicans. Think about it broadly. I get the statement Democrats are destroying America or the left is doing this to us, and I don't disagree with any of that. But rather than focus on a few trees, look at the entire forest and ask yourself this: what have Democrats done to help the average working class American? Right? Nothing. Nothing lately. It's been a while, son. What have Republicans done lately to help the middle class, working class American? Nothing. The working class Ukrainian, okay, they got their back. The working class Israeli, they got them. They hook them up. South Korea, they got them. Republicans haven't done squat. They haven't. I saw your comment yesterday. Yeah, I'm let down by him, but I've been let down for several weeks now. I mean, he's shown who he actually is, and it's sad to see. But we have to get out of this left versus right, always at each other's throats. I'm not telling you to take up for Democrats. I'm saying step away from the left versus right dynamic and make it about people who love America versus people that want to see America fall. You know what I'm saying, guys and gals? Shady, thank you, brother. Daughter just told me I'm going to be a grandpa again. That is awesome. And I worry about the world that baby is being born into. Well, my advice, brother, again, that congrats, that's freaking awesome, is make sure that grandkid knows. Make sure that grandkid knows right from wrong. I think you'll do that, right? And you know, there's another little patriot growing up. You know, we need patriots, right? That's freaking awesome. Congratulations. So it's McBean said homeschool them. Yeah, it's Democrats are destroying America, sure, but Republicans are doing it too. Conservatives in Congress aren't very conservative. They don't seem to be helping. They're not as conservative as they used to be. I just saw again the House Speaker. He's going to visit one of the colleges where these America haters are protesting, right? And I use the term protest loosely, but he's there where they're protesting so he can listen. He wants to have this apathy, this I want to be loved by everybody and I want to please everybody. You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm sorry to say, I mean, I wish that's the way the world worked, right? But you can't. Everybody's not going to get along when you have one extreme group that wants the country to burn, and they're specifically here for that reason. And then you have another group over here, and they want to see the country get back to the way it used to be because it used to be a freaking great country. You know, these two groups cannot coexist. And so I think the speaker's problem, other than taking money under the table, maybe, or in a back room somewhere, is he doesn't understand. He's trying to put both groups in the same box and saying, can't we all just get along? No, that's some Barney, that's some purple dinosaur stuff. We can't all just get along now, son. That's not how it works. When you've got people targeting other groups of people on college campuses and trying to intimidate them, those people need to go. I'm sorry, but to me, that's illegal. That's not just peaceful protesting. You know what I'm saying? You gotta call criminals what they are. You gotta call terrorists what they are. It is what it is. And until we start speaking some truth on that, we're going to continue to be sold out by these thieves. Protests, speaking of, they've spread as we were talking about before. Art Nanny, I think it was Columbia, Yale, MIT, UC Berkeley, Princeton, Harvard, Stanford, the University of Virginia. It's just it's just spreading, and it's going to continue to spread. It's going to spill out from college campuses. You're going to start to see it only in liberal cities because that's the only other places it's tolerated. You know what I'm saying? Um, You try something like that in a small town, yeah, they're not tolerating it. They'll just throw you in jail once you start breaking the law. But again, sanctuary in cities and stuff like this, it will be tolerated. But the issue is a lot of people, they'll look at Michigan and say, well, I don't live in Michigan, or I don't live in California. I'm not worried about it. But a lot of the stuff that you buy in your store may come from California or Michigan or somewhere like this. And they know, hey, if we lock the supply chain down, we slow things up and we jam it up, you're paying more for stuff, or you're not able to get certain things, living in another state. And that's what they're trying to do, along with intimidate people, I think. This is my personal opinion, but we gotta, yeah, I know. Y'all understand this is Google and I can't actually say that, right? But absolutely. It's being funded, it's being well funded and well organized. And again, that's why I know these people are going to hit the infrastructure and try and stop cargo from moving around, because that's what they do. Or they'll lock down a bridge. Nobody can work today, right? Because you're stuck in traffic for 4 hours because these people got these towels over their heads laying in the road complaining about something that's going on in the Middle East. Sorry, that's not okay. That's illegal. These people need to go to jail. You want to stand on the side of the road and walk up and down the street, the side of the street with big old signs. Hey, I'm totally for that. This is the United States of America. But when you start breaking the law, you got to go to jail. That's just the way it is. Misty, how are you doing? Good morning to you. Um, Lance, I kind of feel like we are seeing the death of both parties. I think it's going to take a while. But I think that the Democratic Party, whether they're smart enough to realize it or not, I think they're being eaten from within by these progressive. I think they're going to become more of a communist party, socialist, communist, whatever you want to call it. And I think the Republican Party is on its way out. I think it's going more extreme the other way. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Alfred, thank you very much. You need to buy baby a rifle, an ounce of gold to give them on their 18th birthday. There you go. Never forget they made gold for citizens illegal ones. That's absolutely correct. Turn it in or go to jail. Because we're pulling you off the gold standard and money is just a facade at that point. Ounce of gold probably cost you more than the gun right now, though. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, Dynamite, you got the snowplow though, brother. Just act like they're speed bumps. I've seen videos where people are trying to get to work and they're going slow, but they're not stopping. And these people do finally get out of the way, but they're trying to smash windows. And I mean, the whole thing it's useless nonsense, is what it is. It's Handy Prepper. Good morning. So I posed this question the other day, and oh my goodness, at the replies. I said, what is America's number one problem? Do y'all remember me asking that? I do watch the chat replays. Two-wheeled prepper, it's okay unless you are talking about a pregnancy test. In that case, prayers going up. Two-wheeled prepper said, "Oh no, I'm late." Hopefully, you're talking about the chat there. Um, although children are a blessing, but yeah, I don't know what the dynamic is there. So maximum carry says morality. That's a good one too. I posed the question. The two answers that I got a lot of. Number one was our own government. Kind of hard to argue with that one. Probably half of the replies were our own government. They sold us down the river. Now, some people were attaching these Democrats have ruined it, and again, they have. But Republicans are selling you out too. They're both selling you out. Our open border was on there, some as well, Paradise Acres. The other one that I got a lot was complacency. A lot of people said, hey, conservatives are the problem because they're just sitting on their hands. There's one now. They're just sitting on their hands doing nothing. We just keep taking it and taking it and taking it. And I saw these comments coming in. I said, well, one thing for sure, this is not a blueprint for a healthy nation moving forward. This is another reason why I know it's going to continually hit the fan. Okay. Look, I was talking about a pregnancy test and like 50 people jumped out of chat. It happens, folks. It happens. People have babies. Sorry if I offended somebody out there. Um, it's just not a blueprint for a healthy nation. You know what I'm saying? Um, when the average person, and I'm average too, I'm on YouTube and I'm average, and the other average people out here, the working class people that are on YouTube, when their two replies are our government is the number one issue and we need to do something about our government, but we don't. That's not a blueprint for success. When we have oh boy. Yeah, we done started something now. We need a t-shirt that says I'm late with a smiley face. Uh it's just not a blueprint for success. Um so we'll see. We're headed for SHTF. Susan Stempert, thank you very much. Be sure you check the members section. Um so I want to cover a comment that I got yesterday, and people are going to say, don't cover trollish comments, but I do want to cover this minus the language they left. Okay. Um, this channel is dangerous. That's a direct quote. They go on to say, you tell people not to vote, then you complain about Joe Biden. And again, there was some colorful language, which is why they got kicked to the back of Nancy Pelosi's liquor cabinet. They're no longer here on the channel. This comment itself, I can deal with. This was a fair comment, albeit a literate comment, but a fair comment. But the language, I'm just not, I'm not here for that. I ain't going to tolerate that. This channel is dangerous. You tell people not to vote, then you complain about Joe Biden. So listening is hard. Active listening is hard. I get it. If you're out there under a shell account, you little jabron, I get it. Okay. Yesterday, I did not tell you not to vote. Number one, I specifically, matter of fact, I said, I'm not trying to stop you from voting. Folks, I'm going to vote in November. All right. But it doesn't mean that I don't think there's a magic show going on. People, if you haven't seen the video yesterday morning, go check it out. The magic show is what I'm talking about. I'm voting just in case. I'm voting just in case, people vote in a landslide and they can't cover it up and the magic show doesn't work for them or something like that. I'm doing my part, right? I'm going out to vote, but I'm also a realist, right? I'm not going to discourage you from voting or anything else. I mean, getting into boycotts for a second. You can go down that road as well. I'm not here to tell you what to do. And there are way too many people, I think, that are I hate the term influencer. I've always hated the term influencer because I'm not trying to influence you one way or the other, right? If you want to vote, that's awesome. Go vote. And we'll pray it works out, right? If you're the kind of person that doesn't vote, you don't think it works, that's awesome. You want to drink Bud Light? Go for it, buddy or ma'am, whatever the case may be. You want to boycott them? That's awesome. It's your money. I'm not supporting. Somebody called my cup out last week. Bones Coffee. Yeah, I'm boycotting them. They went woke. That's on you. That's awesome. They got good coffee though. And if I go into a store and I see a bag of good coffee, Starbucks ain't even coffee. I'm not even putting that up there. But if I see good coffee and it's 50 cents more than the store brand, which tastes like crap, guess what? I'm buying the bag that's 50 cents more or the same price or whatever. It is what it is. I ain't boycotting nothing. I don't watch the NFL. I'm not full on boycotting them anymore. I'm just not interested. But again, my son is, and he bought me this hat and it's got sentimental value. I'm not here to tell you not to vote. I'm not here to tell you to vote. I'm here to try and explain to you, you shouldn't be out there waiting on somebody to influence you. You should be a critical thinker. You should be able to make your mind up on your own. That's what I do. John's a big boy. Me's a big boy. I make my own mind up. And if I screw up, I own it. If if I see something that goes way over the line with the company, Salvation Army is one of them. Hopefully y'all don't think bad of me for this, but they were doing this whole white guilt thing. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. I just quit giving them money. I used to give them money. I started giving it somewhere else. That's a personal choice that I made. Again, if that's a bad choice on my part, I own that. You know what I'm saying? But there are too many people out here being influenced. I'm not here to influence you. You should not let anybody on YouTube influence you. You should not let a talking head on mainstream media influence you. You should be able to gather information, make your own mind up about things. I'm sorry you thought that the channel was dangerous. But at the same time, then you complain about Joe Biden. Of course, I complain about Joe Biden. I owe that pudding eating fool $8,000 this year. Now you have to step back and you have to understand, okay? I owe this guy $8,000. Why? Because I'm working and I'm being punished. And that's it. You know, it's freaking theft. I'm not a fan of it. So yes, if I'm going to pay this pudding eating fool money that I could be using on something else, right? I could put that money to great use some other way, but I have to fund endless wars. Or I go to jail or we lose our home or something like this. I can't afford to do that. So I have to suck it up. But you can believe that I'm going to complain about it. And I'm going to keep dropping my FJBs. It is what it is. And if that hurts your feelings, if that gets all up in your feelings and gets you feeling a kind of way, I don't care. Bro, I don't care. Whoever left this comment yesterday, go start your own channel and talk about, make it a Prepper Nation hating channel. You know, like the Woman Haters Club or something on, what is that, the Little Rascals? Go do it. Go put the time and effort in to do something like that instead of being all up in my comments complaining. Here's what happened. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. You're a voter. That's awesome. You don't have enough intellect to understand or enough listening skill to understand that I wasn't trying to tell you not to vote, right? You just put this together in your head because you're some kind of ghetto mastermind, right? And then I hurt your feelings by exposing the fact that it is a magic show, that it is a work, that Republicans and Democrats are selling you out, and it hurts your feelings. And because it hurt your feelings, because you heard the truth, and because you finally had to pull your head up out of the sand, you're like, this channel is dangerous. This channel is not telling me exactly what I want to hear every single day. Welcome to Prepper Nation. That's why I'm doing this channel. Because I want you to hear a different message than you're hearing everywhere else. Orange man good, orange man good, orange man good, buy this generator. I'm not over here doing that. I'm telling you the truth. It's a work. But again, I still vote. So I guess I'm illiterate too, or I'm stupid, or whatever the case may be. This afternoon, we're talking about the national anthem, the flag, the meaning behind everything at this point in 2024. As I was telling Shady earlier, I don't know what time the video is going to drop. It'll be sometime this afternoon. Hopefully they notify. I do buy them. They taste like ice cream. People don't want to buy them. They don't have to buy them. I don't work for them or anything, but they're good. Master Blaster, thank you for being here. Subscribe if you don't mind. Maybe you might get a notification from YouTube about the video this afternoon. Maybe you're not interested. It is what it is, but I appreciate y'all very, very much for being here this morning. Y'all take care and God bless.